The first time I saw her, the world seemed to slow down, not in that cinematic, cliché way people talk about love, but in a way that felt almost cruel, as if time itself wanted me to stay in that moment, memorizing every detail of her trembling laughter, her shy glance, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, as if she were hiding from something only she could see. I didn't know then that loving her would feel like standing too close to fire, beautiful, warm, but inevitably destructive. Before we go deeper into this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness for more emotional and cinematic stories that touch the heart. Her name was Layla, and she belonged to someone else. We met at a friend's engagement party, one of those gatherings where music mixes with laughter and regret, where everyone tries too hard to look happy. She was standing near the balcony, holding a glass she hadn't touched, her eyes lost in the city lights. I didn't plan to talk to her. I only wanted to admire her from a distance, to carry her image back home like a quiet ache I'd tuck away. But she turned and smiled. That smile undid me. "Do I know you?" she asked. "Not yet," I replied, and she laughed. That soft, careful kind of laugh that says, "I shouldn't be doing this, but I will anyway." We talked that night like old friends who had found each other after years of silence. The way she spoke, thoughtful, uncertain, always pausing before finishing a sentence, made me want to fill her pauses with promises. But promises meant danger, because the man she came with, Arman, was her fiancé. He joined us midway, hand on her back, eyes sharp with possession. I smiled, pretending not to notice the way her fingers tightened around her glass when he spoke for her, the way she looked away each time he called her name. That night, I told myself to walk away. I didn't. Over the weeks that followed, fate, or maybe foolishness, kept bringing us together. Group dinners, family meetups, random encounters that didn't feel random at all. Every time our conversations danced at the edge of something forbidden. A joke that lingered too long. A look that said too much. I kept telling myself it was innocent, but nothing about the way she looked at me was innocent. One evening, after a gathering, she asked if I could walk her to her car. It was late, the air smelled of rain, and the city lights reflected like broken stars on the pavement. We didn't say much until she stopped beside her car door and looked at me. "You shouldn't look at me like that," she whispered. "How do I look at you?" I asked. "Like I'm something you're not supposed to want." I smiled sadly. "What if I can't help it?" Her breath caught, and for a moment, everything hung in the silence between us. Her heartbeat, my restraint, the sound of distant thunder. Then she said the words that would haunt me later, "Don't make it so obvious while he's beside me." I should have stopped. I should have walked away, but that night her voice stayed in my head like a curse I didn't want to break. Days became weeks, and her wedding approached like a slow-moving storm. Everyone was excited. Everyone except her. I saw it in her, the fear behind her smiles, the exhaustion behind her laughter. And I hated him. Not because he had her, but because he didn't see her. The night before her wedding, I found her sitting by the old pier, alone in the rain. I don't know what pulled me there. Maybe fate, maybe desperation. She didn't look surprised to see me. "I can't do this," she said, voice trembling. "He doesn't love me." "Not really. He just loves the idea of having me." "Then don't marry him," I said. "Run away with me." She looked up, tears mixing with rain. "You think love is enough, don't you? Isn't it?" "No," she whispered. "Love doesn't build a life. It burns one down." She stood, walked toward me, and touched my face, a touch so soft it almost didn't exist. "You'll find someone who can love you freely," she said. "But I can't be that person. Not now." And then she kissed me. Not the kind of kiss that starts something, the kind that ends everything. The next day, she married him. I didn't go to the wedding, but I saw the photos later. Her in white, smiling that rehearsed smile, him holding her hand like he owned her. The world celebrated what my heart was mourning. Months passed. I tried to move on. I buried myself in work, in new faces, in empty conversations that filled the silence, but never the space she left. I told myself I'd forget her. I didn't. Then one afternoon she called. "I need to see you," she said. Her voice was softer, heavier. We met at a small cafe, one of those quiet places where people go to break hearts gently. She looked thinner, tired, but her eyes still had that spark that once made me forget how to breathe. "I left him," she said. "He was cheating on me. With my friend." I didn't know what to say. All I could think was, fate isn't cruel, people are. She smiled bitterly. You were right. He didn't see me. Not really. And now? I asked. She looked out the window, watching raindrops race down the glass. Now I'm free! But it doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like losing something I never really had. I reached for her hand, and for once, she didn't pull away. Maybe, I said softly, freedom is what comes after the loss, not before it. She smiled, a small broken thing, and for a second I saw the girl I first met on that balcony. We didn't get our fairy tale. Life rarely gives that. But that day we sat together for hours, saying nothing, healing in silence. Sometimes love doesn't end with forever, sometimes it ends with peace. Before the story closes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness, where every story reminds you that love, even when it hurts, can still make us better. Years later, I heard she moved to another city, started teaching at a small art school. I never reached out again, but sometimes when I pass a balcony lit with city lights or smell rain on the pavement, I think of her and the way she said, "Don't make it so obvious while he's beside me." She was right. I wanted her too much. But maybe that's what love truly is. Wanting someone so much that even after they're gone, a part of you still looks for them in every face, every moment, every quiet ache that refuses to fade. And maybe that's okay, because some people aren't meant to stay. They're meant to remind us how deeply the heart can feel, and how beautifully it can survive after breaking.